All right, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. I want to say and give double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders, a great millstone for teaching his word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to the elect, Lord willing, with some of those men. All right, and I'm the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another quick lesson. And it was inspired by this video that I'm watching right now from the elder Rakal Yaquam from GMS London branch. His page is GMS Fear the Most High 7 God. All right, and real quick, the name of the Heavenly Father, the one you ignorantly call God, and Jesus. The name of the Most High, the one you ignorantly call God, his name is Yahweh. And the one you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew. And he is the God and the Savior of the Hebrew Israelites, all right, which we are. Or we are the Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and people that go back to us on your father's side. You may not look like us, like a traditional Negro or Latino, but you go back to us on your forefather's side. We the Hebrew Israelites, right? And the Lord has set a standard for us, right? And I think that's the way I want to start opening videos. Let you know the Lord has set a standard, and the standard that you currently see today amongst our people is not the standard that the Lord set. All right, all of this whorish behavior, all this gangster, thug, base behavior, that's not the standard for us. But that's the standard that the so-called white man projects upon the Israelites. All right, why? To destroy yourself spiritually, physically, socially, emotionally, mentally, in every aspect. All right. And so again, this video was inspired by this lesson that Yahweh Shai put on an elder to do. So I just want to play a little bit of this because and then give you an understanding of what subversion is. All right. So let me play this real quick.
This is drink. This is strong drink. If you absorb this, you're done. You're absolutely done. All right? You know? And now WWE is promoting her. And if you notice, they don't promote functional Jake. The Jakes that are actually functional do not get promoted. They don't get the limelight. They make sure they give the limelight to the lowest denominator. That is how you subvert a society. You take the lowest denominator and you grow it. You take the most toxic, right, the most foul, and you give it a platform and you increase it. You grow it. Disgusting individual.
Exactly. Right? And that's what Esau has done. When you look at so-called hip-hop, all I typed in was ghetto female rappers. And this is the shit that you come up with. You got Sexxy Red, you got Glorilla, you had the chick MIA, you got Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, and they reward these wicked individuals for their base behavior. They reward these individuals by giving them a platform, first and foremost, a platform to reach others. Okay, and like the elder said, they don't promote Jake with understanding. They don't promote Jake with morals, scruples, self-control. They don't promote that. And they'll have you thinking that this is the minority of our people is the majority of our people. And it was the same way when Jake was coming out of captivity, slavery, and when Jake was coming into these major cities up in the East and in the Midwest and ultimately the West, Jake was trying to separate themselves from one another. Why? Because the Sambo, the lazy, the shiftless Negro idea, Jake was trying to separate themselves from that to show this man that, look, we're capable individuals too. We work hard. We save our money. We ain't all killers and thugs. We're not drunkards. We're not. Back then, you had to be drug addicts, but they weren't. That wasn't the spirit that they was in. But what did they do? What did Esau do? And he pushed a particular mentality onto the people to have the people think that, well, this is how they are. Like you, shit, you can go all the way back to, what was that, Going with the Wind with Hattie McDowell, real quick. Yeah, you go back to the Gone with the Wind era of people like Hattie McDowell, which she played a character, right? She played a character as a ancient mama character, you know? Yeah, this character right here. This is the character she played, right? And she won a first. I think she's the first black woman to win an Oscar. But the character that she played was cemented in the minds of Edomites and people around the world. That had you thinking that the so-called black woman, this is her role as supporting the white woman. She's in that slave era. She defended slavery. She defended the whole the destruction of her people. And in reality, Hattie McDowell, that's what she did. She played these low-biting characters, these low-hanging fruit characters, to enrich herself. Meanwhile, she lived in an upper middle class neighborhood in Los Angeles. You know, people came to this woman's house and they enjoyed a life of what you would think was a upper class life. And many actors of her day that played the same roles, the Stepin Fetches, the what do you call this guy? I forget it. Mantan Moreland Rose. These people, they congregated at this woman's house. They all lived in the same neighborhoods as her. Even upper class middle individuals like doctors and lawyers lived in these. But you would never know this because the only character this woman ever played was the character of an ancient mama, Mammy. Like look, come to Mammy Oscars, right? It says Hattie McDowell was given the Motion Picture Academy Award for the best performing of an actress in a supporting role, which they always giving you, Jakes, these supporting roles, right? They'll exalt you for being base in a supporting role of an Edomite, right? In a 1939 for her work as Mammy in the film version of Gone with the Wind. The presentation at the annual Academy banquet in Los Angeles made by the actress Faye Banter. Miss McDaniel is the first of her race to win an Oscar, right? So Esau has always been subverting Jake in pop culture, right? So when you see a character like Sexy Red, individuals like Cardi B, when you see these individuals, this is nothing new. But now it's just become worse. You know what I mean? Because these people, they put on these characters, and these niggas is actually these people. You know what I'm saying? And then it's not just them, it's other people too. Right? So this behavior has become extremely destructive amongst our people. So real quick, the definition for subversion, right? Subversion is the undermining of the power and authority of an established system or institution. Now, the authority starts with the man. The authority starts with the father. All right? And Esau has undermined that. The elder had brought out this precept, and I'm going to get this Leviticus 21 and 9. But the elder brought this precept out. I think he might have brought it out, or he might have just quoted it. But this is the book of Habakkuk 2, chapter 15. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 15. Okay? And it says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Let me read that again. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor's drink, and that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. And I mean, woe meaning destruction to you, right? Woe, destruction to a person, an individual that gives his neighbor drink so he can look on his nakedness, right? Now, you would think or assume that this is speaking about, alcohol, which that does play a role. Drugs, that definitely play a role. But really, it's talking about the different philosophies, right? Strong drink that he give it to you so he can, look on your nakedness, right? When you see Jake like this, they're in a sinful state. And our sins make us naked in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Shai. But that's all Esau pushes in this society amongst our people. Okay? He pushes this destructive, this drunken, spiritually drunken nature on our people, and you drink it. And then Esau sit back and say, look at your people. Because J.R. sheep, nations are like that. Nations, they follow a particular thing, culture, custom, and that's what they do. They follow these activities. So, Salakia. Oh, damn. Anyway, nations,
shows you that. Shit, because
people follow things, man, and so you won't get the actual Sexy Red, but you'll get a little mini Sexy Red running around here. You'll get a little mini Suckiana running around here. You'll get a little mini Lil Kim running around here, and that's what hip hop, mainly the industry or the music genre you call hip hop, has been used to subvert a whole nation of people. All right. So woe unto you, meaning destruction unto you. Because Esau don't push this spirit on the Edomite children. You don't see bass Edomite country singers, or bass Edomite rock and roll singers. Well, when you did see it, them people, they fucking marched in the streets about this shit, bro. When that motherfucking Edomites was knocking themselves off because they're listening to these demonic ass music, what them Edomites do? They got in the streets and they marched against that particular type of music because it was destroying their youth. But see, once you destroyed the youth, guess what? You destroyed the future. And if you continue on doing it, you'll continue to destroy it for generations upon generations, right? They had this type of music in the 80s and in the 90s, early 90s, which is gangster music, which pushed a lot of you Negroes and Latino Native American men into prisons, man. Right? It pushed you into the grave. Because people listen to this music and they get subverted. So let me go back to this definition for subversion again. It says subversion, an undermining of the power and authority of an established system, right? Or institution. And that's what Esau has done. He has subverted the whole nation of Israel, right? He has undermined the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, by destroying his people, by poisoning his people on a daily basis. And then when you talk about it, you get ostracized. When you speak against it, we get ostracized. We get put into a box like we're crazy. But listen, the whole nation of Israel is not like this. 2/3 right now are acting like this, but that still don't make it the whole nation. And even still, within the 2/3, not every Jake is a Sexy Red or a Megan Thee Stallion or fucking Little Ma or Young Ma, whatever you call these people. You know what I'm saying? But this spirit has been pushed onto our people. Now the average woman, the average Israelite woman that you see walking around here has bits and pieces of this mentality in her head. This rebellious, this unkept state. And I want to give an example in the scriptures of how even the heathen nation wanted to stomp that kind of spirit out amongst their people. This is the book of Esther. This is the book of Esther, chapter 1, verse, I'm going to start at 10. It says, Queen Vashti's refusal, right? It says, on the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Mahuma, Biztha, Harbona, Bigtha, and Abagathah, Zethar, and Carcass, the 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of Ahasuerus the king, to bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal, to show the people and the princess her beauty, for she was fair to look on. So here it is, this king, he was feeling excited, happy. He wanted to show his wife off to the people or whatever, right? Because he was married, right? Now keep on reading. To bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal. It says, to show the people and the princess, Salakia, her beauty, for she was fair to look on. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him. Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all the new law and judgment. In the NLT it says, he immediately consulted with his wise advisor. So once his woman refused him, he said, no, what the fuck's going on? This is out of order. I need to talk to my counsel, right? So he says immediately he consulted with his wise advisors who knew all the Persian laws and customs, for he always asked their advice. In the KJV, reading on. And the next unto him was Karshina, Shethar, Adama, Tarshish, Meres, Marsina, and Memucan, the 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face, and which sat the first in the kingdom. What shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to the law, because she have not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlains? And Memucan answered before the king and the princess, Vashti, the queen, have not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in the province of the king Ahasuerus. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes. When it shall be reported, the king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought before him, but she came not. So here it is. They see that this spirit of rebellion was pushed so heavy that they had to get it out of the people, because if not, all women will disobey their husbands, right? So what did he do? Did he sit there and talk to her? Did he give her a platform? Did he put her on stage so she can continue this behavior? Nah. He got this bitch the fuck up out of here. He tossed her head first. He canceled her like Nino Brown's canceled old girl from New Jack City. He said, cancel this bitch, man, when she didn't want to do what he told her to do. It says, likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all kings, princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen. Thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. In the NLT it says, before this day is out, the wives of all the king's nobles throughout Persia and Media will hear what the queen did and will start treating their husbands the same way. Why? Because that's a spirit. That spirit of rebellion is contagious. This is the reason why the Heavenly Father created laws, such as commandments amongst our people, because particular behaviors become contagious. Sin and iniquity is contagious. If you see one Jake do it, Jake don't get put to death for it, guess what? Jake start repeating the same activity. When I say Jake, I'm talking about the Israelites. The same behavior becomes repetitive, and then what ultimately becomes destructive, because what ended up happening is Jake will die. All right? And that's what Esau has pushed. He pushed this spirit of rebellion, of anti-Hamashiach, anti-Messiah activity, behavior in the world. And now look what Jake is going to. A minority of people are slowly becoming the majority of people. That's what's happening in the mindset. You may not actually perform these acts of Sexxy Red, Suckiana, and all the rest of these demons, but this is the spirit of the young woman. That's why you can't deal with the Western woman today. And it ain't just Jake. You see, they got parties with Edomites, bitches dancing in mass. Get it sexy, going crazy, right? Just this whorish dancing. Man, I saw this video a while back. It was a general. He was at a general's like a dinner, and his daughter or his wife, I don't know who she was to him, but his daughter or his wife, I don't know who she was to him, she started twerking, and he had to grab the bitch up, like, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, get the hell over here. You don't do that shit, especially at this type of thing. But again, this is not new. None of this shit that you see going on in this society is new. They've always used hip hop to subvert you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It's the reason why they made it the #1 genre in the world of music, because it was the most effective way to subvert nations, man. Right? But particularly the so-called Negro, right? To make you on a base and low, right? This is the book of Leviticus. The book of Leviticus, I think it was 9 and 21. Let me see. Salakia. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 21, verse 9. And the daughter of any priest, if she profane herself by playing the whore, she profaneth her father. She shall be burnt with fire. Okay? And that was the judgment for any daughter of a priest. Now, guess what? We as Israelite men, we're going to be a nation, a kingdom of priests and kings. So if our daughters play that role, which they're not going to play that role in the kingdom, but this is when the laws were established amongst our people, it was forbidden for the daughter of a priest to play the whore. Now, obviously, guess what? That trickled down to the regular Jake. Because if the priest's daughter wasn't doing that, the least of our daughters, they weren't allowed to do that. That wasn't the first thing that you pushed on your daughter, was whoredom. Why? Because she would defame her father's house. Likewise, if a priest had a daughter that played the whore, she was profaning him and his household. He's a priest. Like, man, your priest. If the priest's daughter's acting like that, shit, what is the average Israelite man's daughter acting like? Right? That was the mindset. So it said, what? You burnt her. Let me read that again. Leviticus 21 and 9. And the daughter of any priest, if she profane herself by playing the whore, because that's what your daughters are doing. They're profaning themselves with this Sexxy Red, Little Kim spirit. And again, this ain't overnight. Sexxy Red ain't the beginning. She ain't the last. They've always had this spirit out. When I was growing up in the 90s and Lil Kim was the flavor of the month, guess what? All these women walked around here with different color wigs on. The tight dresses, trying to get a nigga with money. Drug dealers. They were into obese men. Why? Because that's what Little Kim was into. Then you had the Foxy Browns, and you had your Eves. I remember when Eve is a rapper, right? This chick right here. Eve is a rapper, right? But now she's a wife now to an Edomite billionaire. She done gave birth to an Edomite child. You know what I'm saying? She's living a high life. Well, when I was coming up, she wasn't all refined like this. When this was, I remember this chick. She had every chick in Philly wearing a fucking blonde, bald head look. That was the look that was in with the paw print tattoos on her chest, and she still has this shit, right? She destroyed a nation of a generation of women with her mindset, right? But then the bitch end up marrying up some Edomite, and now she looks like this. She's playing the role of a white woman. You know what I'm saying? She's cosplaying in a white woman's role, living on a high horse, man. So she was rewarded for that. But you're not supposed to reward this behavior. You're supposed to destroy it. Again, Leviticus 21 and 9. The daughter of any priest, which we as Israelite men, let me prove that real quick. A nation, a kingdom of priests. And it wouldn't show up. A nation of priests. Let's see. And that didn't show up. Salakia. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 6. It says, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, the sons of Israel, right? Right? In the NLT, and it says, and you will be my kingdom of priests, my holy nation. This is the message you must give to the people of Israel. And really it's to the men of Israel. Because ultimately that's what we're going to be. we're going to be a nation of kings and priests, right? And if we're kings and we're priests, our sons are going to be princes and they're going to be priests, right? And our daughters are going to be princesses by default. But that's not the spirit that Esau wants to push to you, Jakes. He wants to push that you're just this demonic, low-life, destroying people. That's the mindset he wants to push onto our people. And that's why it's accepted that way. Sexy Red came over time. The bitch didn't come overnight, right? In the beginning, these women had clothes on, but they were still in a masculine energy. Your Queen Latifahs, your MC Lights. Then as hip hop became older, the women became more scantily clad and more sexualized. And then they'll say, oh, it's the man, you're sexualizing us. We're not sexualizing you. Esau has sexualized you. Why? He pushed that whorish mentality on you, and it was slowly accepted. So now you got your sexy reds. Now you have your what is this chick name? I forget the Ice Spices and all your Suckianas, your DJ Loafs, your Trinas, all of that shit. And that shit's by purpose. Because hip-hop is nothing but a gimmick, a tool used to subvert our people. Just like R&B, just like rock and roll, all of that shit was used to subvert a nation. The music might have been good back then because it sounded good, but, a lot of that shit was pushed to destroy our people. Because Esau don't want you to be a nation of kings and priests and princes and princesses. That's why Yahushua has to come back. We need Yahushua because he's going to establish our nation, right? Starting with the 144,000 of men, the prophets, okay? Because Esau doesn't want you to be a strong nation. That's why he don't push men. He don't push value men in this society. He don't push, and then that's the thing. We got to wait for him to do it because the earth is given into his hands. Job 9:24 is given into the hands of the wicked, right? So you can't expect this dude to push the best portions of our people onto the world platform. That's why you got your Megan Thee Stallions. They give this bitch an award for Planned Parenthood, for pushing the spirit of destroying the child in the womb, right? Claiming it's sexual liberty, right? She always got a goddamn tongue out, bad breath. Her, your Cardi B's. You got the Latina woman, and you got the Negro woman version of it, right? You always get your two dichotomies. You get the Negro version of the thug. You get your Latin version of the thug. The super hyper sex version, and then you get the super violent version. And that's what they push on the people. And the people accept it through continued hypnosis and subversion. And that's what Esau has done. He has subverted our people. And I'm just using as hip-hop today as the method because that's what they're using. Right? Hip-hop is used to subvert a whole nation of people. But like the elder Macaulay Crumb said in his video, these niggas are the minority. You walk through every ghetto USA, every Jake ain't like that. You got Jake is just working class poor, working class, middle class, working class people, individuals. The majority of Jakes, not every Jake has been to prison. Not every Jake has sold dope. Not every Jake has sold their bodies. No, that's a minority of people, but it's been made to look like this is the majority of people. And these people are puppets for Esau's agenda. All right? And it's evident. It's evident, bro. So, yeah, I just wanted to, kind of land back off what the elder Macaulay Crumb was saying in his video, because it's very true. It is very true. It says Sexy Red was spoken highly by those spoken to, and she was said to be easy to work with during her appearance on WWE. And this chick that had introduced her was The Rock's daughter. She's an Israelite. She's a Judite woman, but she looked like a Samoan woman. That big ass head. She looked like a Samoan. A lot of people didn't even know that. But she's easy to work with because she don't give no problems. She do whatever Esau tell her to do, and she keep putting that spirit. She start twerking her funky ass, her tattooed face, her wig. This is a persona. the tattoos on the face, the hair wig, and then you young women, you adopt this shit. And you destroy yourselves and you destroy your future like this. And they have you thinking that this is acceptable, and it's not. She's a degenerate. And Esau uses the base of our people to push a spirit of baseness on people. Right? I'll end it off with Daniel 4 and 17, man. Daniel 4 and 17. Okay? Says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the bases of men. So the Lord gave Esau this kingdom. Esau didn't give it to himself. He didn't take it because he was smarter or stronger than the Israelites. No. The Lord gave the kingdom to whomever he will, and he set up over it the bases of men. And Esau, you're the basis of man. You're the lowest form of man on the earth. All right? You're the third part of men. All right? And the Lord is going to take this kingdom from you and give it to the rightful rulers, which is the Israelites, starting with his son, Yahushua HaMashiach, and 144,000 men. All right? The kingdom of men. The kingdom of Israelite men. That's what this kingdom is going to be. And it's going to be whipped into shape. Everything is going back into order. From the man, women, and the children. Of all nations, you're going into order. This can't be for too much longer. You know? So, yeah, like I said, I wanted to land back off of what the elder said. And I hope you were edified. With that, I would say shalom. On to the next.